I am Josh, and this is my first ever vlog. So you're going to have to forgive me if it's really rubbish, but I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to try and muddle through, so bear with me. I am nearly 30, and I'm a husband and a dad, and I'm also a climber. I am creating a blog because I want to kind of create a journal for some of my training, whether that's in the wall, in the gym, or out on real rock, or anywhere in between, really. I should be more specific. As well as being a climber, I'm actually a paraclimber. So in 2010, I had a 35-foot fall, which broke my back in a couple of places and initially left me basically paralysed from the waist down. I was incredibly lucky to make a really good recovery from that, so I got back onto my feet, but I'd also broken my ankle in that same fall. Really badly broken my ankle, to be clear. And in 2013, I ended up having a below knee amputation, so I've got this funky kitty now. Which creates a whole different element to climbing, training, and life in general, to be honest. So I thought it might be quite interesting to see how certainly training and stuff compares to many an able-bodied athlete. I am also aware that April is Limb Loss Awareness Month, which I didn't know was a thing until I'd lost a limb, so clearly it's not quite as big a deal as it could be. But I know a few charities at the moment are really trying to push Limb Loss Awareness Month and use it as an opportunity to show just how able and active people are able to be despite having lost a limb. And I'm really passionate about that. I really love seeing people push themselves and push what they can do, whether they're amputees, whether they've had a spinal injury, whether they're completely normal people that haven't had any injuries or what. I train as a personal trainer, and I love pushing people and I love seeing people reach their goals, and so I want to take an opportunity to show that actually just because you might be missing a limb or just because you're dealing with this, that or the other doesn't stop you from being able to push yourself, doesn't stop you from being able to grow and develop and improve on what you're capable of. So, yeah, why am I making a blog? I guess mostly it's to document training, mostly it's to post some funky climbing videos maybe. I'm also really into calisthenics at the moment, so body weight and movement stuff, messing around on rings and parallettes and things. And the reason I love both those things, so the climbing and the calisthenics, is that they're both so focused on learning how to master your own body. And having been in a place where I literally had zero control over the bottom half of my body, trying to regain that control and trying to really master it and be able to do things that I would once have seen as being completely out of reach and completely impossible is a really exciting process for me. And it's a slow one, it's taking time, but I love the process because I love seeing those little bits of improvement. And my hope is that this will be something that's worth watching and that you'll enjoy seeing me progress over time as well. I also want to create an environment in which people can willingly ping questions to me, and I will do my best to answer them. There's no promises, but I'll try. Why am I doing that? I guess historically I've done a few uni lectures and I basically talked about my own experience, my own journey, and then created an opportunity for people to ask whatever questions they like. And invariably people are always a bit shy and nervous at the beginning of that because everyone's really scared to ask the disabled guy a question for some reason. But once one or two people have been brave enough to ask really simple questions, things normally develop and you get quite deep and interesting questions. And I think people are fascinated by the unknown and don't really, like, why would you understand how this works if you haven't been through it? I didn't know how amputations and prosthetics and spinal injuries worked before I went through them. And so, yeah, it's not unreasonable for people to ask questions. I'm also aware that because my amputation was elective, down the line, having had endless trouble with the ankle, I spent a really long time trying to find out all the information I could, trying to speak to amputees, trying to get people to answer the questions that I had. And it was actually really difficult to find people to talk to. And so, if I can help one person going through a similar position to the situation I was in, then I want to be able to do that. It really hit home, actually, a couple of months ago while I was in New Zealand with some friends. And these are friends that I know really well and I climb with pretty regularly. And they've seen me take my leg off and swap legs endless times. But Steve, one of my mates, was like, "Can I have a proper look at your stump and see what it's like?" And he'd seen it, but he'd never really examined it, and I guess fascination got the better of him, and he just wanted to have a look and try and understand how it works, how everything was cut and put back together, and how it's created such a good shape that therefore works with a prosthesis, and so on and so forth. And I'm a real firm believer in asking questions. If people want to ask questions, I try to wear my heart on my sleeve a little bit, and I try to be a fairly open book. And to be honest, nothing frustrates me more than if I meet people and it's the classic thing that I had when I was in a wheelchair, and I still got it now, when kids see me and they want to ask questions and they'll point me out to their parents and so on and so forth. And the parents will get really shy and embarrassed and try and move on and try and pretend like I hadn't been seen or I don't exist, because they don't know how to handle the awkward. But actually, I'm fine with the awkward. So if people want to ask me a question, just ask me a question. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to bother me at all. I also thought it would be quite a good opportunity to document some fun challenges. As I said, there is absolutely nothing stopping people with limb loss from pushing themselves, and so this year, as well as competing on the GB paraclimbing team, I have signed up to do a 5k for Wings for Life in May. I'm also looking at doing a obstacle race, so my first ever obstacle race, later this year as well. And I'm also really determined to get back into my kayak and hit some white water again, because I've not done that for far too long. And so, my hope is that this is going to become more of a channel than a one-off blog, and we're going to document some of the processes that I go through, so whether that's training on the wall, whether that's calisthenic stuff in the gym, whether that's hitting a beach and playing in surf in a kayak, or whatever other adventures I can think of. I'm going to try and get some guests on, talk to other athletes potentially, talk to other people who are pushing themselves and other people that are struggling with stuff and finding ways to adapt and finding ways to cope. We'll see how that goes. I've got to find people first, but I've got a few who I will potentially pick the brains of. And we'll see where this goes. But thank you for watching. If you've found it in any way interesting or think it might become interesting, like it, subscribe, share it. It will be really helpful for me to get a bit of feedback. And I will say goodbye. Also guys, if you have liked it and you want to see more of what I get up to day to day, jump onto Instagram, follow me, I'm Josh_senior, or you can find me on Facebook as Paraclimbing Josh. And so come give me a like, come give me a follow, and it'll be great to connect.